Hello and welcome to the show. I'm here on Forza Horizon 2 with another silly car build. My vehicle today is the Chevrolet Bel Air, and as strange as what I'm about to say is going to sound, I genuinely think this stands a good chance of going very, very quick. Maybe not quite beating the Lamborghini Urus, but I really do think that this is going to set a decent time around our test track, for one simple reason. Last time out we had the Toyota 2000 GT that I thought would be a pretty quick car. The problem was the tyres let it down. It just did not have enough rear grip on the vehicle. It just had too skinnier rear tyres, whereas this car doesn't have that problem. They are some humongous rear tyres. I think they're some of the biggest that I've seen on Horizon 2 and probably on Forza 5 as well. These are massive, massive tyres that we've got on the back of the Bel Air, and that is good for power delivery. The track that we use has a lot of very tight hairpins, and it's all about getting the power down out of the corners, and yeah, having some big tyres is going to help with that quite a lot. Now, as far as power goes, as far as the engine goes, well, it is the 6.2 litre V8 that we've used in many a vehicle that we have in here. 928 horsepower, 826 torques. It's not too bad. It's not as powerful as the V12, but it still packs a fair punch. As far as weight goes, we are on perhaps the slightly heavier side of things. Still not too bad. Not as heavy as I thought it was, actually. 2,800 pounds, but even with oh, that's roll cage, my bad. Even without the weight reduction, it's actually not as ludicrously heavy as I expected, considering the size of this vehicle. It's a humongous car, the Bel Air. So yeah, it's not too bad on the weight front, and having a little bit more weight can sometimes help with stability. Make the car, and the fact that this car is very, very long, may help a bit on the stability front. It's not quite going to be as agile, which may cause problems, but it won't be horribly twitchy. So that's kind of a good thing. Also, interestingly, we have the return of the aero improving tyre. Now, we had this on the Ford F100 on Forza 5. When we get to the rear of this car, we'll just put it back to standard. We've got the various stats that you can see there. When we put this on, it improves the stats, speed, acceleration and launch, while it adds weight, which is why we see the stats of handling and braking go down. It adds only a tiny bit of weight. It improves the speed and so on, which means that it is not telling me, but it improves it reduces the drag, I should say, a little bit. I'm not. It's more. Oh, I guess it's more feasible than the Ford that had the tyre on the side of the car. I'm not sure it still makes sense though. It's we have another magic tyre, so we will have that. I mean, I can understand. We'll see when we come around the side. We have these little things that cover the wheels up. I can understand these making a small difference, small improvement in drag, but the tyre on the back, I'm not entirely sure about that, but never mind. It's on there. We're going to go with it. Yeah, we're going to go and test this car. I genuinely think this could be a real surprise. I know it sounds crazy that the Bel Air could well be one of the faster cars that we've built, but I genuinely think it could. I hope it does, just because it would be funny to see a Bel Air go quickest. I think it's a bit of a tall order to beating the Urus that had the huge V12, the one of the most powerful engines we can get in the game. I don't think. Oh, it's bloody raining again. What is it with me? Whenever I leave for one of these silly car builds, it's always pouring with rain. Yeah, beating the Urus is going to be a tall order because with 300 horsepower down, the Bel Air will be a little bit lighter though, which is good. I think that this should fairly comfortably beat the Noble. Now, as ever with these silly car builds, I've got 6 laps to beat a time set by a completely standard Noble M600. The Noble did a 56.414, and I think that we are going to go quicker. I think we're going to beat the Noble without too... As strange as this sounds, I know, I genuinely think that we are going to go faster than the Noble. Whether we can challenge the fastest cars, which are up in the 54s, I am not so sure about. I would like to think that this could. I think it stands the best chance. See, hit the camera. No camera controls. I think this could stand some of the best chance of any of any of the recent vehicles. If I am brutally honest, the gearing does seem quite short from standard, but that's not too bad. Right, how are we handling on this opening lap? It is a very long vehicle, this, which yeah, it may be a little bit too long in some respects. We don't want a really tiny car for reasons of twitchiness, but for something this length could prove problematic. Okay, we just don't quite have the acceleration of the cars with the more powerful engine. How do we fare through these hairpins? Not bad, and power delivery out the other side is pretty damn good. We're not suffering. Maybe a little bit of a short shift in there, and we can get out of these corners with some decent power delivery. Yeah, around the hairpins very, very nicely. See, as crazy as this is, ooh, okay, we got that a little bit wrong, but this is handling much nicer than the tiny, lightweight Japanese sports car we had last time. This is a lot more controllable, a lot better through the corners. I don't quite have the bravery to take that bit there flat out. Maybe after a couple of laps we've warmed the tyres up, I can give it a go. It is still there. It is still going to be a bit tail happy, I think. Whenever you put this much horsepower in a rear-wheel drive car, even with the biggest tyres possible, there is always going to be an element of slidiness, if you like, with them. But it's dealing with everything a lot better. I would love to put the V12 in this car. That would be that would be great fun and probably cause big chaos. I think it's probably better to leave it in third coming out of that hairpin, to be honest. This hairpin, I'm doing better. I can't decide if it's the car or I'm just getting a better line through that hairpin. We're getting out of that hairpin a lot better. Doesn't really like that bump particularly. First flying lap. Ooh, overshot turn one a little bit. 57.5. Okay, we're perhaps not quite going to challenge the 54s. I do still think that we could potentially beat the Noble if I could get oh dear, got quite a bit of understeer going on there. If we could get a nice clean lap, I do think that we could. I still think that we're going to beat the Noble, to be honest. We've just got to be careful. The brakes, the downside of having this, I say this much weight, but the downside of being heavier, of course, is we don't quite have the stopping performance of some of the other vehicles. It is actually pretty damn nice on the handling front. I'll give it credit for such a large vehicle. We are having we're not having too much trouble at all with these hairpins. There we go, and again we're out the other side of that hairpin there without any problems. I've got to be a little bit careful, definitely, on that power delivery. I want to get it into third gear fairly sharpish. Oh, does not like that bump. Really doesn't like the bump down there. Okay, through the tunnel now. Can we be brave? I can't quite hold it flat out through there, but we are quicker through at that time. This corner here is horrible. We do have a little bit more understeer, in all honesty, than I expected from the Bel Air. Which is a crazy thing to say in a 900 horsepower rear-wheel drive classic American car. But we do have a little bit of, or quite a bit of understeer going, especially coming towards that hill. And then we'll have oversteer when we go to put the power down. Okay, got to be. It's not quite as kind on the power delivery as I had perhaps hoped. Get out of that corner, yeah, with a little bit of short shift, and we can actually get it quite quickly and efficiently out of these corners. Oh, fluffed the hairpin up completely. Arse. You lose so much time if you take that corner fractionally wrong. Got a couple more laps to try. Yeah, I messed up that final hairpin so much. We have gone quicker. Definitely can beat the Noble if I can just be clean out of that second hairpin. I mean, okay, tried to cut that one a little bit too much and bumped the front, and now we've lost time again. God damn it! It's not quite the easiest of cars that I've had to drive, but it's certainly not the worst, and it's not as crazy and ludicrous as you might think. Oh, I got it a bit wrong over there. That's bad. Ooh, we're off in the sand trap. We've done that all completely and utterly wrong. It's this, yeah, it's the second of the two hairpins that can really ruin a run. If you you can probably lose a second and a half easy just by getting this hairpin wrong. It is a horrible corner. I still haven't figured out quite what it is about this corner that makes it so horrible. That's a much better line through. I think, yeah, we've got to kind of go for a bit of a late apex to try and fire us out of it as best as possible. Otherwise, you just get dragged wide. We've seen it with a few cars now. Yeah, I still haven't figured out the best. Well, I figured out the best approach, but I can't figure out quite what it is about that corner. Oh, I had to back off because we were going in the wall. I think I'll get it. I don't think I'm. Now I've got big understeer through there. Don't think I'm quite going. Annoyingly, I'm not quite going to beat the Noble's time. Now I've got a big slide up the hill. it definitely could. It definitely could go quicker than the Noble. I reckon with a lot of practice, you could probably get it in the 55s with a clean run out of the second hairpin. The problem is, it's just a little bit ungainly in some respects. It's the downside of having such a large car. Oh, we've got it stopped. There we go. We're actually now out of that hairpin quite nicely. Maybe with a good run down here, we can shave a bit of tyre. Oh, no. Got it wrong down there, and we can't save it. That's a bit annoying. I definitely think we could go quicker than the Noble. It's not quite as quick as I thought it might be. I definitely thought we were going to beat the Noble without too much trouble. I don't know why. I just had a suspicion. Apparently not. It could go a little bit quicker. It is not that easy to drive, though, as you would kind of expect with a car like this. But it does deal with its power a hell of a lot better than that. I mean, the Toyota did have more power, but the Toyota was incredibly tough to drive. This is still quite difficult to drive, perhaps a little bit more difficult than I expected it to be. Still not bad though, even though I didn't quite beat the Noble's time, that is not bad for a Chevy Bel Air compared to a modern day sort of supercar, almost hypercar. Right, well now time to see how quick it goes in a straight line. I would be surprised to see this go much over sort of 210 maybe? I don't know. It's not got the most powerful engine. It isn't the most streamlined of shapes. I'm thinking, yeah, I think it will probably get 200, but probably not too much more over that. I think it'll be quite relatively easy to drive down the motorway. As I said, not the smallest of cars, so maybe the weaving in and out of traffic could be a little bit scary, potentially dangerous at times. I don't think it'll pose too many problems. The bumps may throw it around a bit. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, the bumps could be quite horrible. To be honest, they weren't that kind around the test track that I use. So yeah, the bumps could be issue with here. Let's hope, fingers crossed, that that we don't end up in the back of a whatever. Well, no, actually, no. Let's hope we end up in the back of a Yaris. That's always a good way to go. If you're going to go, might as well crash into a Yaris for good measure. Right. Let's just take off the aero and fiddle with the gears and hope that we can get a decent aero. That's what we want. Okay, 211 to start with. Drop the aero. Maybe we'll get 220 at best. I wouldn't think we'll get much more than that, to be honest. 215. We'll just extend the ratios a little bit, but I think we're gonna. No, it's not going to be streamlined enough. Yeah, it's about 215 is what we're going to get out of this. Maybe on the run down the hill, we might see it up to sort of 16, 18 perhaps. I don't think, even with the downhill bit, it's not going to be enough to to get this car much faster than that. Right, onto the speed. I like how we're already topped out. Oh, good God, this is dangerous. McLaren is playing it risky. Middle of the road. We're going past you. Right, we're off the top of the speedo, and I don't expect us to ever get back. Oh crap! I was busy faffing around looking at the speedo. Oh, I do apologise. I think there's a Golf that I killed. Sorry, I was busy distracted looking at the interior of the car. How are we through these high-speed corners? Oh, okay. Whoa. That's not much fun. Even with all of the tyres and all of the grip, we're still quite scary. It just lacks rear end. It's just the downside of having such an old car. It hasn't got a chassis designed for this sort of thing. And while yes, we can put racing suspension and racing tyres on, it's still not quite designed to deal with this much speed and power and this sort of cornering, which makes it utterly terrifying. Go for a gap there. Ooh, we're okay. Oh, the back end is really... No, Audi! God damn it! Oh well, we killed another Audi. You betrayed your own brethren there. Oh God. Okay. Yeah, this is not quite as nice to drive as I had perhaps hoped. Kind of a bit what you expect with a Bel Air. Okay. We'll get through here. Yeah, we just can't. Back end is always wanting to step out here. It's actually a little bit twitchy now. All of a sudden. Got a little without the aero and with the higher speeds. It has all of us the low speeds at the track I just drove around. Didn't have any problems. Oh, that was a bit close. once we start getting up to this high speeds and dealing with the slight undulation of the road, it doesn't really like it. It gets a little bit twisted. Didn't expect that from this particular car. I thought we'd be alright, being a bit heavier and a bit larger than just about everything else. Okay, yeah, it's not liking it particularly. I mean, I'm driving a Bel Air at 200 miles an hour down a motorway, whoa, and we're starting to go sideways at 200, almost 200. That's not much fun. Whoa, crap, what was that? I think I must have hit a bump in the road. The car just suddenly veered left slightly, almost into the back of whatever the hell traffic was there. Okay, yeah, this is quite scary. It really doesn't like the bumps at all around here. We are getting up towards its top speed of 215 miles an hour, apparently. We're just going to click over to the 15. Come on, car. You can do it. 215. Hey, 215. Any more? 16. We're going to get up to 217. We are indeed. 18. Just clicked over to 18 briefly there. I saw that. I actually did see it this time. 218 is about the most we're going to get out of it, which is for a Chevy Bel Air is not too bad at all. Not quite as quick as I would have perhaps ideally liked from the car. Still not too shabby at all. 218 miles an hour in a straight line, very nearly as quick as the Noble around the track. Yeah, just a little bit harder to drive than I would have liked. But yeah, I think it's still quite impressive. Not quite as impressive as I thought it could have ended up being. Still not too bad though, for what it is. Why is there a Fiesta in the middle of the road? I had nothing to do with that. Well, that's not going to have helped the Fiesta. I didn't crash into anything. Oh, well, not down this part of the run anyway. I may have killed an Audi and a Golf at some point. What is the... Oh dear. Poor little Fiesta. If only it was a Yaris. Oh, is it going to get nailed? Yeah, the Alpha's got it as well. Move, goddammit! Move the Ford! Oh, never mind. Well, there we go. That is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, a goodbye.